am so pleased right now to bring you one of the great ladies of the state of Minnesota. Their Senator Tina Smith. And she will be joined by Brenda Lewis, who is the superintendent of Fridley Public Schools. She's been working tirelessly to protect Fridley students and their families during the ongoing ICE search in Minnesota. Give them a Minnesota-level round of applause.
Thank you, Joy. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you to MoveOn and to Midas Touch and everyone, but especially thank you to the activists and the organizers that are here today. This is what a pro-democracy movement looks like. Look around. And back behind me here is the United States Capitol. And inside that Capitol, I gotta say, I'm so glad I am out here with all of you instead of inside that Capitol right now. Inside the Capitol, Donald Trump is lying about the state of this nation. He is using division to drive us apart, to make us think that we are not one nation, one community. And that is why we are all gathered here today, because we are against the chaos and the corruption that he is spouting back there in that most precious capital of ours. But tonight, we are outside, and I'm here to tell you, this feels like resistance weather to me. Because we want to tell the real story about what is happening in this country, what is really, really going on. And we're here to offer an alternative that is not about sticking up for the billionaires. It is about fighting for the working, the hard-working people in this country. And that is why I am so grateful to be here with my special guest today, Brenda Lewis. Give it up, Tal. Thank you, Brenda, for being here. Brenda is an educator. She was the superintendent of the Fridley Public Schools. This is a district of about 2,800 students. It is very, very diverse. It's a suburb of Minneapolis and St. Paul. And when ICE came to Minnesota, Brenda sprang into action. I'm here to tell you folks, she is a badass. Now you've seen the searing images of what has happened in my state, in our country. People who have been arrested and detained and assaulted. The killing of Alex Preddy and Renee Good. You have seen the searing images of Liam Conejo Ramos and his dad ripped away from their home and sent off to Texas for no reason at all. But I'm here to tell you that what you see in the pictures is what's really happening is so much worse than that. Because once you get past the incredible documentation that is happening by these eyewitness accounts in small towns all across Minnesota, this same thing is happening. Restaurants and people have lost their livelihoods because of this secret police that has attacked our state. Families are torn apart and they will never be put back together again. The pain and the suffering and the damage is going to last for a very, very long time. And this is what Donald Trump and Kristi Noem are doing to us right now. But we have seen something else in Minnesota. When they brought guns, we had whistles. People came out in their neighborhood and they stuck up for people that they didn't even know. They brought diapers and they helped get prescriptions to families. They gathered together just out of the pure love of their neighbors, even the neighbors that they did not know. And when ICE came and started circling around schools and terrorizing families, people like Brenda stood up and fought for their kids because she knew that her most important job was to keep those kiddos safe. And so I want you all to thank Brenda for everything that she has done. I want to invite her up to talk about what it has really been like in Minnesota. So Brenda, can you tell us what happened? When did you first realize that this was happening with ICE and that you were going to have to spring into action?
Sure. I first realized this in December when the temporary order was put through on our Somali families, and we were told, let's watch our attendance, and our attendance immediately dropped. Then, the day after the Renee Good murder, we had more than a third of our students absent, and that's when it began. And at that time, we thought we had seen the worst. And I'm about to share with you tonight a story that happened that covers a 10-minute period of time on a morning. I woke up that morning a little bit optimistic, and we learned that 700 ICE agents were leaving Minnesota immediately. Little glimmer of hope. Our second glimmer of hope, our lawsuit to keep ICE out of Minnesota schools, was trending really well in the media. That morning on patrol, all of a sudden, I got a call saying there are 6 vehicles up and down, up and down, up and down, right outside of one of our elementary schools. They were then in a roundabout preventing our children from crossing to come to school. They were yelling and screaming at our crossing guards. Then our principal was trying to help and trying to keep our students safe. And 4 ICE agents posing as press with orange upper bicep bands were yelling and screaming at her and videoing her. Then a mother was followed who was legally in the United States by 2 vehicles full of ICE agents, and she had to pull into our school so that she wouldn't be hurt. A board member was followed by ICE agents with a 3-year-old in the back of her car. This is just a 10-minute period
one day.
On one morning at an elementary school welcome.
So think about that. Brenda and her educators should be figuring out how our children can be learning. And instead, they are pressed into this relentless effort to keep our children safe. But I want you to think, as I wrap here, about where the power is right now. The power is with people like Brenda. The power is with people like you and people like you all over this country. The power does not come from the United States Capitol. The power comes to the United States Capitol from all of you. And that is the work that we have ahead of us. That is the work before us. So thank you all so very, very much for being here to talk about what the people want to see in this country right now. And it is not what Donald Trump is talking about right behind us. So thank you all so very, very much. Thank you.